Hey nerds, that was a fantastic episode. So much happened, so much was revealed, and so much was answered. And I cannot wait to see where this is all going. But first, let's just run through a couple theories, a couple things that were name dropped, and then I'm going to take us on a quick tour through the Marvel Universe. Some locations that I think our Mystery City could be. So first, a couple names that were dropped. There were two. First, Baron von Strucker. Ward is asking who's in charge since Strucker is out of the country. For those of you who don't know who he is, at the end of Captain America 2, in the post-credit scene, we have a Hydra base where we see Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are kind of in cells and most likely being experimented on. The guy running that base is Baron von Strucker, and he is a longtime foe of Captain America. And we know he will be in Avengers Age of Ultron. So that's who that guy was. The other name that was dropped, and this was by Sky, was Micro. The leading theory on this is that that is a reference to Microchip, who is one of Punisher's allies. And Punisher is the, if you don't know who he is, he's the guy in all black with the skull on his shirt, who's just out there to kill as many organized crime guys. If you're a bad guy, he's coming for you. He's going to come for you and try and kill you. And Microchip is the guy who helped, one of the guys throughout Punisher's long career, who helps him do that with information and, providing equipment, things like that. So those are the couple names that were dropped. The next theory, and this is about our boy Fitz. You gotta hurt for him. You just want him back to his genius engineering ways. The theory is that it's going to click with him that Coulson got his memories back through using the table torture device. He is going to try and use that with him to repair his brain. The one problem I have with this is his memories aren't there. He's just having trouble, connecting the words. So that I don't know if this would actually work in reality, but this isn't reality, and who knows what the abilities of that table actually are. So Fitz is going to most likely at some point hop on that table to supercharge himself. And who knows, maybe this will lead him to being something else. That would be cool. I'm a big fan of Fitz. He's cool. So that's another one of the theories that came out about this episode. Before we get onto our tour of the universe, though, we need to talk about the one little piece of information that was dropped on our Kree in the tube from Project Tahiti. And that was that he had been on the planet for, what did they say, 1,000 years? Something like that? He's been there for a long time. That was pretty important information. The Kree have clearly been to Earth. They know about Earth. They probably are going to come back. And it ties in with what I think the main possibility for that map is, for the blueprint of that city, for what that is. But I'll get to that in a minute. So, now it's time for our tour around the Marvel Universe. We got this closure on what this drawing was, this carving, this map, whatever you want to call it. It's now, a lot of people online are calling it a blueprint of a city. I mean, it's basically a map of a city, so map was right. I'm going to say I'm right. But what city? There are so many cities in the Marvel Universe that are important. Now, you can automatically get rid of any city that is publicly and widely known, that anyone could look at and be like, oh yeah, that's New York, that's San Francisco, oh, that's Chicago. I recognize those skylines. It's nothing like that. Plus, that would make for boring television. So I have 4 options for what this could be. The first is Loom Area. Now, this is kind of an island city that was home to the Deviants, and it is in the South Pacific. Deviants are kind of an offshoot of humanity, like the Inhumans are, but more monster-esque. But their island sank. It was bombarded by Celestials. Now, we know who the Celestials are, thanks to Guardians of the Galaxy. The mining colony Nowhere was in the head of a Celestial. So something that big, for some reason, was bombing Earth. Maybe that's how Marvel explains the dinosaurs extinct. I don't know. But that's how their island sank, and now it's underwater, and it just that one doesn't seem likely. But has a slight possibility, so I thought I should mention it. Next, we have the home world and capital city of the Kree Empire, Kree-Lar. The Kree obviously are big players in what's going on. They were important in Guardians of the Galaxy. And we know we have a Kree scientist, explorer, soldier. We don't know anything about our Kree yet, but we have them on Earth. And it's now going to be figuring out how he's connected. But I don't think the agents are going off planet, so that's why I don't think that's going to be it. The next option, and this is we're going to be seeing this city a lot in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so that's why I'm bringing it up, is Wakanda. Now, Wakanda is actually the nation, an African nation that is ruled by T'Challa, who is the Black Panther. Hey, we just had an announcement about that. Black Panther's getting his own movie. We're going to see him in Age of Ultron. We're going to see him in Captain America Civil War. It's going to be a major location in the upcoming movies and the universe. But I don't think it's what's going on here. Wakanda is known. It is an African nation. They don't like people coming in, and in fact, outsiders are immediately turned around and sent out. So they like their secrets, but S.H.I.E.L.D. definitely knows what's going on in Wakanda. In the comics, they have secret bases in Wakanda that the Wakandan government doesn't know about, and just to keep an eye on them, like S.H.I.E.L.D. does. So even though we know Wakanda is going to be important, I don't think that the map we saw was for that city. Now the final one, and this is the one that most of the internet agrees with, it's Attilan. Attilan is the capital city of the Inhumans world. And basically their world is just this city. And they move this city from time to time. Originally it was in the North Atlantic area, but then the first time they moved it to the Himalayas, right next to China. Does that make sense? That's where S.H.I.E.L.D. was found. It's possible either her dad, the Kyle MacLachlan character, took S.H.I.E.L.D. and was running away, or S.H.I.E.L.D. and her mom ran away to get away from him. We're not sure there, but it makes sense why they would be in that Chinese village that got destroyed by Kyle MacLachlan's character. It also explains why he would be familiar with all of this technology and all that, and so the Inhuman City does make a lot of sense, and we know we're having an Inhumans movie, and some people have been concerned with this theory, Mr. Steve Tenney, that they would be introducing it too soon. And to that I say, just because the Inhumans movie is far off does not mean that we can't start seeing the Inhumans before then. They've already said they've started planting the seeds for it. It would make a lot of sense for something like that to start taking shape in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, if this is the city of Attilan, what would that obelisk be that has the writing on it? Well, it could be a lot of things. One possibility is it's a key or some sort of device to allow access to the city. But we don't know. The teaser for next week's episode really did make me think it has something to do with Terrigenesis, but that's kind of a long shot at this point. What do you guys think? This was a fantastic episode. We got another one next week. Tell me what you think. Which city do you think we saw? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to subscribe. We got a lot of videos coming up. Just had just so much going on. So for Good Nerd, Bad Nerd, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Theories and Conspiracies, this is Brian, signing off.